Indiana Hoosiers Live 54. Hats off, Brad, because the College Football Playoff Committee is convening currently, or already convened, or whatever this show that ESPN is currently running side by side with us right now as we go live on this Tuesday night. It is Penn State week. It's also the first official College Football Playoff rankings, the only rankings that actually matter. Brad, how you feeling?
Excited. I actually have a weird feeling that we're going to be ranked number one, but regardless, we're going to be in the top three, which is a lock, which is great. I'd be pretty disappointed to see us at three, just considering the resume. I think the only justification for us to not be one would be putting A&M at one. And that's kind of how I feel about in terms of like actually bipartisan selection of the teams and of the rankings, right? And that's how I see it. Obviously, Ohio State, they do pass the eye test, but there's got to be some resume merit to it. And at this point, there is no team with a better resume than Indiana, so they should rank that accordingly and have the chips fall where they may. Because obviously, you can have Indiana ranked above Ohio State all year, but it's not going to matter because they're going to play in the Big Ten championship and they're going to figure it out and fight for it themselves. So it really doesn't make any sense to put Ohio State over Indiana just because you probably think that they would be the better team if they were to play, because they are going to play. They're going to play in about a month. So excited just to see how it goes, and I got it on right here. It's blurred out so we don't get in trouble, but yeah, it's yeah.
So Disney doesn't come after us too, as well as YouTube TV.
Yeah, I don't want Mickey Mouse coming on my doorstep, man. I don't need it. So
we got. I don't know if people missed the show on Sunday night. We got your top 12, so I want to recap that really quickly as the college football playoff show gets rocking here. But your top 12, Brad, you had Indiana 1, obviously, resume-based rankings, merit-based rankings, as they should be. Ohio State 2, A&M 3. Seems like in whatever way, whatever order you want to put those teams in, seems like that's going to be the top 3. 4 for you was Bama, 5 was Oregon, 6 was Georgia, 7 Ole Miss, 8 BYU, 9 Texas Tech, 10 Louisville, 11 Notre Dame sneaks in, and 12 was Memphis as your group of 5.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
For me, that was me.
Who?
Yeah,
No, the other Brad.
Like I said, I think that top 9 is pretty solid. Like that's going to be the top 9 teams. Tennessee just came in at 25. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that 10-11 mark is where things get interesting. Do you go double ACC? Obviously, with the real rankings, probably 12 is going to be one of those ACC teams or Notre Dame. So, I mean, we'll just see how it goes. Or maybe there won't be any ACC teams in the top 12. We'll see how much the committee values the ACC as Pitt comes in at 24, 7-2 ACC team. Going to tell me that they value the ACC a little bit lower than the SEC. So, we'll see how that goes. Washington comes in at 23. We're going live review.
Yeah, I like this. No, just rip it. Dude, my plan was interrupt the smoke with whatever but if they're firing. My stream kind of cut out over here.
Mizzou comes in at 22. So 2 6-2 Big 12 SEC teams basically ranked right next to each other.
Wait, so in Tennessee, Pitt, who?
Washington at 23, and then we got Mizzou at 22. And then the Wolverines come in at 21. The path exists for the Wolverines.
I don't know if that's good or bad for the Big Ten. I got to be honest.
2 Big Ten teams in it already, where you anticipate USC, Oregon, Ohio State, and
where's leave Iowa?
You to kind of peep the actual AP rankings to see.
It makes me a little nervous for Iowa.
Iowa comes in at 20.
Ooh,
Iowa is ranked justifiably. The committee is doing it right. The fact that Iowa's not ranked.
So then I would say Illinois probably chalked in these rankings if Iowa's 20.
Why would Illinois be chalked?
I think Iowa's a better team than them.
Yeah. And Illinois is not ranked in any of them, but they are. Yeah, they're 6-3. There hasn't been a 3-loss team in the rankings yet. So, besides Tennessee, so we'll see where Illinois falls, because Tennessee looked very good in that Georgia game, which they should have won. So I think that comes into consideration when you put them in. At
Do you like 20 for Iowa?
I think it's respectable considering they put USC at 19. So they're getting a lot of Big Ten teams out of the way.
Not great for the Big Ten, though. They're so far back. You would have liked to see those 2-loss teams a little bit higher if they wanted to make up a ton of ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Canes come in at 18.
Whoa.
Reese Davis doing his whole spiel. I can't have volume on, so I'm just doing it ad hoc. No,
I think you're doing great.
No volume. Yeah, the Canes were looking good, and then they've just had some unfortunate losses to Louisville, and then who they lose to last week? They'll SMU.
2 good teams. I don't think the ACC is as bad as people want to give it credit
Georgia
for.
Tech at 17. That's crazy. That's insane.
You think they fell too far?
Yeah, lower. That's lower than both the rankings in the AP and the coaches. And if you've ever listened to this podcast, you know I'm a BCS believer. I think they should do a 12-team playoff with the BCS criteria. I know the AP poll is incorporated in that, and the AP poll kind of has some bad voters. Vanderbilt in at 16, by the way. Louisville, 15.
So is Virginia going to be? Is Virginia going to be in?
Virginia's going to be ranked higher than Louisville. So Virginia is in right now.
Where is Notre Dame?
Is that because they have one more game played? Is that it?
Question.
I don't know. I really don't. Louisville, I feel like, has the better win with Miami.
100%. Louisville beat Miami. Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
A little bit questionable.
Notre Dame at 13. Oh, whoa.
Notre Dame at 13?
Utah at 13.
Wait, who's 14?
Virginia. Utah ranked 17 and 19 in the AP coaches poll respectively, gets a 13 ranked nod, despite losing to both BYU, which means they're probably very high on BYU and Texas Tech and the Big 12.
Yeah, I was going to say Texas Tech. Well, Texas Tech is good. It's a team me and you were very high on going into the year. Well, money talks.
They're in my preseason 12.
No, hold on, I gotta let the dog out real quick.
The 12 has to be Notre Dame here. No, Oklahoma. Whoa, Keys, you're leaving the live show. Whoa.
Oklahoma at 12?
Oklahoma at 12. Many people anticipate them to be at 10 or higher, but no, they are at 12 right now.
Oh, I actually thought they were going to be lower.
And then Texas at 11.
Shut the fuck up. No way.
Yeah. Way. I mean, Texas is 13 in both polls right now. So not too far off from
they lost to Florida, yeah.
The public.
The same team that lost at Florida?
The biggest jump is Utah right now. That's the biggest one. And Iowa, obviously.
Notre Dame's going to be like 8.
He's getting it right, you know, when they're bumping teams like that.
I don't know. Texas at 11 is a little nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you can't rank them above Notre Dame.
You're going to put Notre Dame above Miami, who beat them.
Yeah, so Notre Dame at 10, and then it's those core 9. Notre Dame at 10, and that's going to be that 9. Texas Tech, BYU, Ole Miss, Georgia,
Are you
Oregon,
predicting them at 10, or they just put them at 10?
They just put them at 10. It was anticipation. I called it before it panned out, though. Because that 9, like I said, right before they revealed it, that 9 is pretty solid right now in terms of where it should be. I don't know what order. It's going to be really fascinating to kind of see it unfold right now. And now they're doing it, Notre Dame highlight reel. I guess they're starting to do that for the top tenors.
So the rest of the show is probably 9, 8, 7, 6, whatever. Interesting. So Utah, you think, is the biggest surprise to you? Because the biggest surprise to me is definitely like
Utah.
this.
Utah for me is the biggest surprise. The fact that they ranked a Big 12 team higher than the public consensus is quite a shocker, which makes me think BYU might end up getting a 4 or 5 spot.
I'd be fine with that. I'm a little surprised Louisville and Virginia didn't get a little bit more respect, even though Texas arguably has the worst loss on the list.
Oregon at 9, blatant disrespect for the Big Ten. It's very obvious.
So Indiana's good. I'm prepared for Indiana to be 3.
They don't have a ranked win, though, is their big issue, and that's definitely going to be held against them if things hold. But, you know, if they're going to be – it's like the same argument. They're like Indiana last year. Like, they're blowing everyone out. Their only losses to Indiana. Like, it's kind of like the same argument where Indiana, like, only lost to Ohio State. Same type of narrative as last year. And, hey, at least they're keeping it consistent is really
That's
like
crazy. Well, dude, that means they're respecting the SEC significantly more than the Big Ten.
Well, I think they're going off their own polls, and Oregon doesn't have a win against a single team. They have an opportunity against Iowa this weekend, but they don't have a ranked win, and that has to be that's the difference between you being ranked 5 and you being ranked 9. Like, I'm not like they're in the playoff. Like, that's the whole argument. Like, they should be in. They're 7-1, but, you know, no ranked win. So they're going to put Texas Tech, who has a big win over Utah, who's ranked 13, at 8. Texas Tech comes in at 8. So the logic makes sense for the committee, and they're starting to get it right. BYU comes in at 7.
Interesting.
As an undefeated 7th ranked team. So that leaves
Ole Miss probably 6.
Ole Miss is probably going to come in at 6, which leaves Georgia, Bama, A&M, Ohio State, Indiana. So we're going to have 4 SEC teams in the top 6. So we're going to have is Ole Miss right on cue comes in at 6. I mean, if they
I swear to God,
and we're not ranked in the top 3, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
I swear to God, if Indiana's 5,
I'm gonna lose it.
I'm going on a tirade.
I don't know. I'm worried. They should be ranked 1.
There's just no shot, dude.
They should be ranked 1. They have a 3.
Georgia 5, Bama 4, probably, right?
Huh?
Georgia 5, Bama 4.
Georgia comes in at 5, right on cue. It's got to be Bama at 4. It's got to be. It has to be.
Yeah, the other 3 teams are undefeated. There's
right
no
on
way
cue. Bama comes in at 4.
Yep.
They're speeding through because everyone knows the top 3. So it really comes down to
this is the drama. A&M
at 3. Here we go. A&M highlight show right on cue. The anticipation. Oh, it's too good.
All right, what does this tell us real quick? This tells us Ohio State's best win is Texas. Indiana's best win is Oregon. Indiana should come in at 1.
Indiana just came in at 2. It's fine.
What the fuck is the point? All right.
Cool.
Sure. All right.
Whatever. Like I said before, like it really doesn't matter because they're gonna play each other. So
yeah, they're gonna play.
Yeah.
I don't. All right, committee. Whatever. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Am I gonna sit here and be upset? They're ranked 2nd. You know, it's all arbitrary at the end of the day. It's a bye. Interesting. I wonder what metric puts Ohio State up there other than the logo. I mean, John's funny in the chat saying, wow, all that for that. I mean, ultimately these numbers mean nothing because they're gonna go play. Indiana's got what? Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue left. And a bye week. There's 4 weeks of the regular season left. And then there's conference title games. Like, there's still so much more football to be played before, like, these numbers matter. But, like, to be number 2 in a room full of people who, like, their job is to watch football, and this isn't the AP poll. This is actually the committee.
So
you got to sit there and take it.
We'd be getting the winner of a BYU Notre Dame game right now.
They keep doing that. They just want to match up Indiana and Notre Dame. Everybody wants to do that. That's where listen, it's a game about money at the end of the day.
BYU.
Notre Dame's beating BYU. They're the same team, and CJ Carr's a year older than Bachmeier now. Carr's a redshirt, yeah.
Yeah, but all those Mormons are like 2 years older.
Yeah, but they're like the same. I feel like Notre Dame and BYU are like the same school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Notre Dame's just like a better version of it. I don't know. I mean, listen, I like Indiana against anybody in the country this year. Like, I think Ohio State's better than Notre Dame. I like Indiana against Ohio State. So, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, the only two teams that really scare me at this point is A&M and Ohio State because they haven't lost.
I'm not going to sit here and say like these other teams aren't good. You know what I mean? Like, they are good. Like, they'd be good football games. Anybody in that top 10, in that top 12 would be a good football game.
Yeah, anyone in the field would make for a good game. I think it's a very good field. It's very exciting, and yeah, it looks great. Honestly, some new additions like from last year: Alabama, A&M, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech. Look at that parity: Virginia, Memphis. It's like half the field is
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's not in the field.
You said they were ranked 12.
Yeah, but Virginia and Memphis get the nod.
Where was Memphis?
12 seed. Unranked, but they would be
no shit.
Yeah, they would be the 12 seed according to the field right now. I don't know if that's I don't have volume on. I don't know if that's a projection or not. But I imagine when they're selecting the field and none of the fit, there's only 4 ranked conference champs. They're gonna put one of them at 25 just to declare it, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the day of.
So Memphis would be 12, Virginia 11. So Texas is out too?
Texas is also out.
So confusing. That makes way more sense, honestly.
Texas, Oklahoma, whoever was ranked 13, and then Louisville, the first 4 out.
So Utah.
There we go.
Interesting.
Which means those 4 probably control their own destiny if they win out.
Yeah, you have to imagine somebody in front of them is losing. And then you have an SEC championship game, another one of those teams is losing, and who knows with tiebreakers and stuff if you get like a Clemson situation where like the Clemson team ends up not winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And essentially you get one conference champion going. So I don't know. Interesting field. Pretty much exactly what we were expecting. The only difference was Virginia over Louisville.
Yeah, I pretty much nailed the field, which is sick.
Master of the eye test.
That's sick.
Yeah, it just goes to show you know what you're looking at.
Yeah. And like Virginia's 1 rank above Louisville, so
yeah.
I think Louisville has the better win. Virginia might have I don't know. I feel like Brian Brom's been cooking stuff over there for a while now, and they're due to break through. Miller Moss, one of my favorites.
Yeah, your guy, big M's.
Big Miller Moss guy, double M.
That's what they call him.
M.
Well, let's get into the smoke, Brad. If you have YouTube TV, you are not watching the college football playoff show because they're still in dispute with ESPN.
Yeah, I found that out yesterday, basically, when I was trying to watch hoops, and it was I didn't have ESPN. I was like, what the hell's going on? I was trying to watch Monday Night Football in between hoops, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta leave the app to go to another app and flip through the apps. Thank God I'm really good at navigating, content spearheader over here, but it's like too much.
Director of content, Brad Loomis. Speaking of basketball, the Indiana women are dominating right now. They're up by 26, 25. I'm doing quick math. 28 on Lipscomb right now. Dominating. Shout out to the Lady Hoosiers.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Alabama A&M. I think it's a real good sign when you get a team like Alabama A&M and you just have a chance to blow the doors off them. I don't think, looking back at the past 8 years, I don't think the team has really done a great job of just absolutely annihilating those bottom feeders, right? Like, obviously, you're going to get some, like UCLA struggled with Eastern Washington, but like that's a team that's probably going to make the tournament. Eastern Washington probably going to win their conference. And yeah, they were just really lackadaisical on defense. I'm just glad they won it. Whereas opposed to you get Alabama A&M from the SWAC, like you gotta beat the brakes off them, because that's none of those SWAC teams are ranked in the top 300. You got to go in there and just really assert your dominance early and kind of show, what you're made of. And I think I've always watching Indiana hoops always see the red flags early in the year when they wouldn't come out and just absolutely dominate, kind of let teams hang around for a little too long, like your Tennessee Techs and your Armies. And they just hang out for a little too long. It's just like, what is going on here, fellas? And yeah, just excited, just hoping to see some dominance from them.
I agree. I'm excited to watch this new version of Indiana basketball play. Like, people obviously had their problems with the Mike Woodson era. We all had our problems with the Archie Miller era. Like, it seems like we just have like a college. We're going to be a college basketball team, like running plays and like shooting threes and getting up and down the floor, and it'll be exciting. But we'll back burner that for the bye-week extravaganza.
100%. Yeah, and I'm, like I said, not going to have a real take until January, but it is year one, so things need to be worked out. But like, it is a good sign early on when your team, look, the teams that, that stat where it's like week 4 of the AP poll in college basketball, like one of the top 12 every year has won the Natty. Like, there's a reason for that. Like, the good teams, the teams that end up having success in March, like they're starting out fast, and they don't need to figure things out throughout the year. They obviously, there's bumps in the road, and you get teams on it's basketball, like you're going to drop some here and there, but like for the most part, you're starting out faster than the rest of the country, that is.
And for the people who were upset at Darren DeVries for not being able to recruit Von Carvalho, I'm not sure if we touched on it too much, but if you haven't seen his highlights yet, he's a super fun dude to watch. This is like lanky, rangy, like 6'7" scorer from 3 levels, and just like type of player we really haven't got to watch in Bloomington over the last couple of years. So, no, just a notch in the belt.
Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
There we go. That's 2 guys in the class already, which is a really good sign. Because it's very senior heavy, so definitely want to bring in a strong class of at least 3 or 4 guys that are freshmen.
Yep, we got a Big Ten Network feature on Elijah Surratt, with his dad telling the Waffle House story, basically like telling everyone how the nickname came to be, which like we all kind of knew the story, but super cool to see the spotlight get put on Surratt. When we saw him and he had the go yard bag and he was like the only guy in the walk line who wasn't in the jumpsuit, it's like, yeah, he should like he's earned his way and played his way into getting a little bit more recognition, and so it's cool to see guys like that get the a little bit more shine.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of shine, EA updated their college football 26 rankings. Mendoza is the top ranked quarterback in the game. Indiana has the number 2 ranked offense, but they don't have a top 10 defense, which is disgusting.
In the EA game? Yeah, they just need to figure out who to upgrade. They probably make, like, did they make Will Hardy in 99 yet?
No, and that's that's part of the problem. They're the number 5 overall rated team in the game.
Yeah.
Which, like,
that's
what do you
good.
think?
Sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fair. That's fine. At least they fixed it. At least they're not like top 20 or something like that.
Yeah. Nick Saban had a quote this week or last week basically saying that, in his opinion, Ohio State and A&M were the 2 teams that have separated themselves. My response to that was he was just motivating Indiana and Alabama, and that was kind of like an olive branch to the Alabama fans. I had a couple people responding like in a very positive way, like, holy shit, an Indiana fan who we can get behind, which I thought was kind of funny. So, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting quote, especially in the time he said it. Did you even see the quote? Did you see the meme I made? Because it was a great meme. What'd you think?
It's just still frustrating that like they go through that stretch of Illinois, Iowa, Oregon, and go 3-0, and they just seem to, whether this was real or not, it just seems like they should have that assumption where it's like, yeah, they haven't beaten anyone lately, but like, yeah, they already separated themselves mid October. Like it's not, you know, they already did what they needed to do and had the toughest part of their schedule up front loaded actually, and took care of business. And this team's going to continue to get better, and that's why they're breaking the doors off people. And you know, we'll see what happens this weekend when they play probably, yeah, the most talented team that they'll see the rest of the year up until the Ohio State Big Ten championship game. So
absolutely, without a doubt. I can't remember if we talked about it on Sunday or not, but Jason Whitlock responded to Kurt Signotti thinking it was Kurt Signetti, which like I don't really want to touch on that whole subject too much, but I just thought that was hilarious that somebody with 800,000 Twitter followers was responding to a spoof account thinking that it was the actual head coach. Not sure what his thought process was there, but that was definitely, I had to click on it and make sure it wasn't a fake Jason Whitlock account first.
Jason Whitlock, just he's something else.
The jokes write themselves.
Yeah, he is something else, that guy.
We're going to move past it. No Drew Evans this week. He's officially ruled out. Sig called it a multi-week thing, I think on Monday, but officially ruled him out. I believe he spoke today about Penn State. Fisher and Surratt both have a chance to play. Surratt was dealing with a couple things, had hamstring tightness. There was a lot of people were complaining about the Maryland turf, which like I hadn't seen anything about it before last week, but after the amount of guys Indiana had go down, I don't know if that was a combination of the weather or what was going on there, but yeah, it seems like Surratt and Fish do have a chance to play, but no Drew Evans this weekend.
Perfect. Yeah, I imagine Fisher plays. We'll see about Surratt. I mean, those hamstrings linger. I would like to see him play
hamstrings are finicky
and just kind of shooting the shit with fellow Hoosiers. Like one good sentiment I heard was like, maybe we should play Elijah for the Penn State game and then probably rest him Wisconsin, Purdue, make sure he's good to go for Ohio State.
I agree. As long as
I think he's willing to sacrifice his Biletnikoff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, the Biletnikoff is secondary to being able to get on the field. And Sig talked about it today. Like his goal is to protect his guys first and foremost. And so he's not going to force them out there if they're not physically ready to go. And like you said, hamstrings are finicky. Like you watch guys in the NFL, like fantasy football is a perfect example. Like you follow anybody with a hamstring injury and it's like, if they're real serious, it can go 4-6 weeks and like really kind of change the way you run. If you're a runner, you kind of understand like what and how finicky the hamstring is. So you definitely don't want to take any risks there. So if he's not 100%, I mean, it's not like it's up to us, right? But definitely don't have any problems with him not playing.
Yeah.
Devin Boykin continues his tear. He was named Pro Football Focus Team of the Week. Shout out to Boykin.
Love it.
Players for Players of the Week for Indiana. Offensively was Kaelon Black. Defensively was Kamara. Special teams was Roman Hemby. And the scout team was Dontre Henderson, Andrew Barker, and Clayton Allen.
Andrew Barker, there we go. The scholarship guy. Love it.
Yeah. Aiden Fisher is a Lombardi and a Butkus Award semifinalist.
Very nice.
And KB was...
He's got a really good shot for that Butkus Award.
Yeah, he probably... I mean, he's the best linebacker in the country.
Does Arvell Reese count for that?
If you follow T-Cal and Buffton Prime, no.
Yeah, I know.
He's an edge rusher.
100%.
Freak. But yeah, that's what I got. And then to lead you into our game preview, Brad, not to step on your toes, but Indiana has never beaten Penn State at Penn State.
Dude, you ruined the whole thing.
There's a first time for everything.
Means we're due. That's what I always say. You see a guy come up to the plate, 0 for 12 in the series, like he's just due. He's due. He's gonna get a hit. And then Indy Pajes strikes out again. Anyways, go Dodgers. Why am I giving it Indy Pajes? Dude literally saved me in game.
Pajes was Carlos from the bench warmers.
Seriously.
He said, "I am Diego Bonds."
Yeah, the game week we got the
Diego.
Penn State Nittany Lions from State College, Pennsylvania. How sick is that?
State College.
Yeah, it's dope.
Happy
We got a
Valley.
few buddies going in this weekend. Almost went, but I got other things to worry about. What do we got? Alumni from Penn State. Keegan Michael Key comes to mind. Sad that they can't do the James Franklin bit anymore. That was always hilarious. I always found that super funny.
I got an alumni for you.
Oh, give me one.
Brian Koshnosh. He is the Shore Conference single season leader in hits.
There we go. There we go. Ooh.
Shout out to Kosh. All aboard the Kosh train.
Yeah, and then Matt Rule. Matt Rule's a Penn State alum.
Well, listen, if you want to go
something to
football
note.
players, like they have like a legitimate football history. Like you start
Yeah,
naming
we'll
guys
go,
throughout the league.
Yeah, we can
Allen
go,
Robinson was getting into it with
Allen
Indiana
Robinson, that's
Twitter
my
a
guy.
couple of weeks ago.
A-Rob, Paul Posluszny.
Great Jaguar, great Bear.
LeVar Arrington. Who else we got?
Saquon.
Oh, Micah Parsons. It's pretty good.
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon's decent. Matt McGloin. You remember Matt McGloin?
What about half the league's tight ends? Matt McGloin.
Oh, Mike Gesicki. Who else we got? Miles Sanders. Forget about Miles Sanders.
How could we forget?
Trace
McSorley?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other sports, but I'm pretty sure they only do football.
Jalen Pickett.
So a true football school. Like I can't name a single sport where.
No, they're a soccer school.
They're a men's volleyball school. Totally forgot about that. Yeah. Louis Moore, Will Bantle. High school national champions 2017 ended up going to Penn State. Shout out to Cubs.
Penn State, heavy Ocean Township presence.
I'm gonna call them State Penn though.
I would say probably the school that the Big Ten school besides Rutgers that most kids from my area went to.
Huh. Interesting.
I didn't even take a visit. I didn't look. Never been. Like no plans to go. But yeah, no, pretty popular out from the New Jersey crowd.
Quiz for you, Keezer. When did Joe Paterno was hired in 1966? When do you think Penn State won their first bowl game? Based on that little piece of information.
Maybe not until like the 80s. 77.
No, 59. They actually won 3 bowl games before back-to-back years, 3 straight, with Rip Engel before they hired.
Can we talk about Joe Pa? Is that even allowed?
Before that, irrelevance, basic irrelevance. Like I think it reminds me a lot of kind of like the little Tom Allen bloop. And then they get Signetti. Whereas, like the Rip Engel, he has
please do not compare Signetti and Joe. Please.
On the field, it's that level of impact. Yeah, Joe Paterno hired in 1966. First year goes 5-5, so not the same. Actually, not the same at all. But year 2. Finishes 11 in the AP poll with a Gator Bowl loss, gross, in 1967. And after that, they go to 2 straight undefeated seasons with wins in the Orange Bowl, 11-0, 11-0. They are independents at this time, so their strength of schedule isn't looked at as high as maybe it should be. They're finished 3 in 68 and then 2 in 69. And that's what really started those teams that went undefeated as an independent is what really kind of launched their dominance for about damn near 4 decades, right? With Joe Paterno. I mean, he was there forever. And he was their entire program. Didn't take until 1982 for them to win their first national title where they went 11-1 but won the Sugar Bowl. 86, an undefeated 12-0 team with a win in the Fiesta Bowl. I'm trying to figure out who it was against Miami, another undefeated team, to win the national title. That was a big one. I think they talked about that game in the U. That was a big one. That was the one where Miami walks out with the camo off the plane. That had to be the same one. Yeah. That's the game, and Joe Paterno kicked their ass. Crazy. And then they win their third national title in 1994 with a win in the Rose Bowl. 12-0. They take down the Oregon Ducks 38-20. 3 national titles in a run. Pretty impressive historically.
Then what happened? No.
I don't know what did happen. I have no idea. But the amount of bowl games they went to, I think in his goddamn 50 billion years that he was there, they missed bowl games not very often. Toward the end, when he was starting to shit his pants on the sideline, had to run across the field mid play because he shit his pants and he was starting to lose his mind, and they kept him hired for way too long. It was just, they had that between 2000 and 04, they missed a bowl game 4 times. Didn't have a single bowl win. One thing I do respect about Joe Paterno, it seems like his bowl percentage was very high. Seemed to win a lot of bowl games.
Yeah, it's just hard to talk about him without acknowledging
why we call them State Penn.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hired this guy named Jerry Sandusky, and he did some very bad things, and he knew about it. Bad.
He knew.
Bad. Maybe
Joe Pod knew.
Possibly participated. And he passed away conveniently like 2 months after that came out.
Conveniently.
He died of a broken heart. Oh, that was good.
We're going to hell.
I'm already there, brother. Yeah, and then they hire Bill O'Brien, first guy to.
What a wild job! What a wild job to take.
Poor guy. They were ineligible for bowl games their first year. He goes 13-9. Not too bad for Bill O'Brien, considering everything that was going. Probably really hard to get guys bought in when you can't go win a national title.
I mean, Bill O'Brien parlayed that into the Texans job.
Stud. Now he's at BC.
He went to the Nick Saban school coaching rehab.
Yeah. I mean, you know where Bill O'Brien got his name to fame, though, right?
Yeah, he was a Patriots offensive coordinator.
Tom Brady quarterback's coach.
Yeah, that one.
And then 2 years later, once the sanctions were gone, shout out Bill O'Brien for his service, honestly, for doing it for a school like that. Probably paid him a lot, so probably not too crazy. But
I mean, no, you're right in a sense, though. Like, he took a dead job.
Yeah.
A job that where like every third question was going to be about the shit we're like blatantly avoiding talking about because it's so like, it's that terrible. He's like, you're just like walking into that environment like you're the next guy. You know what I mean? Like that shit is still on the press, and you sit down, you're the head guy. Like, yeah, it's a ballsy thing to do. Take that job.
Very ballsy. Yeah, and they ended up taking the Texans head coaching job after that. So they're left scrambling. You know, they thought they were starting to build a foundation. Who do they go to? Well, there's this little guy who, bald, goateed man who is killing it at Vanderbilt, making them go bowling. 8 wins.
Doing the unthinkable.
8 wins at Vanderbilt. Couldn't believe it myself when I saw it. It's like, this guy's a hell of a coach. I still believe it to this day. They shouldn't have fired him. They go with James Franklin, who in his 3rd season at Penn State wins the conference. They said he couldn't win the big one. I feel like he did that pretty quickly, actually. I don't know. What is the big one? You know, can we win a national
title? Who knows,
title?
Brad?
Bill Paul only went 3 for 40. for national titles. And they didn't even play a national title game. So, like, what is this idea of, like, can't win the big one at Penn State when, like, Joe Pa never had to win the big one? Besides that, maybe that 86
It's this
title game
entitlement that
against
comes
Miami.
from literally nowhere, from being the second or third best team in the East part of the conference for 15 years. The confidence is mind-boggling.
How many New Year's Six Bowls did James Franklin win, not just appear in, but win in his time at Penn State, if you had to guess? Based on, like, they can't win the big one.
I'm going to say 2.
He won 4 in his time there. Lost 2 others.
They lost to Darnold, no?
Yeah, they lost to Darnold in one of the Rose Bowls in 16.
And then lost to Notre Dame.
They won the Rose Bowl in 22 against Utah. It's crazy.
You don't know what you got till it's gone, Brad.
Have fun being Nebraska. So they have a new interim coach. I don't even know who he is. Do you know who he is?
I know he knows who Signetti is because he's been coaching at Penn State since like the mid 90s, and like they're actually friends and know each other's families and shit like that. And Terry something, I think.
Terry Smith.
Yeah. But I mean, both they still have Colton Ecke, who's the offensive coordinator, right? And they still have Jim Knowles as the defensive coordinator. Like, the offense really didn't change much. And Aller got hurt before Franklin got fired. Right? Or no?
I think that happened the week after he got fired.
But I mean, Gunkmeyer, however you pronounce his last name. Like, I mean, he was, Sig said it, like very highly recruited, like super talented kid, but like, the production numbers, like they don't ask him to do much. And when they do, it's not much.
Yeah.
Like his interception, he's 1 touchdown, 3 picks this year. And he's not offering what.
He's now 0-2 in his tenure at Penn State. Now they got to get easier.
The hardest. Oh, go ahead, Brad.
They're coming off a road loss to the number 1 team in the country. Now they get the number 2 team at home. So maybe they're feeling, I think that could play a factor. Like the fact that they played Ohio State just last week. They get to see that speed, that strength, just that level of football, and kind of be able to adjust. You know, they get 4 more quarters of that, and they're kind of already used to that going into this week. So it could play to their advantage, especially coming back home for them. But that brings us to on Fox big noon kickoff.
Again.
It's the number 2 Indiana Hoosiers officially as of like 30 minutes ago. The number 2 Indiana Hoosiers taking on the 0-5 in the Big Ten State Penn Lions at State College. The spread is 13.5. The total 48.5. All time, Indiana has yet to win in State College, and
none of that makes sense.
And the total record is 25-2 because Penn State didn't join the conference until 93. So that makes a ton of sense, actually.
No, the 48.5 and 13.5 makes no sense. Where is Penn State scoring?
They got a good run game. I don't know. Vegas probably still believes in them.
Typically,
like the metrics.
I don't know. It's when a lot of times when these things jump out at me, like last week was just like, oh, well, I don't know about that one, but I don't know. The whole to me, this is all about how Indiana handles the crowd, and if they handle the crowd the same way they did at Oregon, like this is part of the reason why Penn State isn't as good this year is because this isn't the Penn State team everybody thought it was. Like production wise, they're just not there.
Yeah, I agree. But like the talent is there. So like on a given Saturday, they can show up, especially at home.
They're team
in the country.
They're 10th in the conference in tackles for loss, and they're 13th in the conference in sacks.
All I'm going to say is they're
which
going to
is
look at
crazy.
they're going to look at that logo. Well, that's shocking, by the way, based on their personnel. But they're
That's
going to
what
look
I'm
at that
saying. Like
logo and they're going to be fired up.
they're supposed to have a at least one first round defensive lineman, at least a first or second round linebacker, and then just dudes all over their secondaries, and they can't even get in the backfield. It's kind of nuts.
I want to look at their roster a little bit. Not that I didn't do that before.
No, but because I like to like box score watch and go look at stats and see who's doing what. Like, I mean, obviously the run game is legit. I mean, the run game is legit, and Indiana's going to have to stop the run, and like that's another like just jump into the keys to success. Like, handle the home crowd, number one, first and foremost. Take them out of the game early, like you said, Brad. They literally just played Ohio State. They understand the type of athlete that is on the number one football team in the country. Indiana still has the stigma where their athletes aren't Ohio State's athletes. So maybe Penn State comes in with confidence. That home crowd, there's still going to be 100,000 people there. Now they're out on their football team, right? And you can take them out of the game early. But if they get in on their football team and they start believing, like they're going to be a factor, maybe the most important factor in this game. So Indiana has to deal with the home crowd. If it looks like Iowa, the game might look like Iowa because like Penn State's got the even though they don't have the production, the athletes to be able to go make plays on a given Saturday.
100%. That's where I kind of feel about this game coming off 2 straight blowouts. It's going to be hard to go to Penn State and win 55-10. Just well. They're loaded. I remember when I did all my game prep on these guys in the preseason, actually. So I have a bunch of highlights over here. Like on their defense, I had 7 highlights. Like these are like all conference level players that they have on their defense. Zakee Wheatley, probably considered one of the better safeties in the conference. Elliott Washington, AJ Harris, they're 2 corners. Dominic DeLuca and Tony Rojas, 2 of the best linebackers, by the way. Rojas is a junior. Sig. So is Elliott Washington and AJ Harris, but whatever. I'm just like trying to replace Fisher low key. Tony Rojas is so fun to come in as a stud on the DN. Tony Rojas. He's a freak athlete, man. Tony Rojas, he's gonna be playing on Sundays for sure. Same with Wheatley. DeLuca's a good player. But no, after watching this team, like it's hard for me to buy into most of these guys as NFL talents.
Well, part of the reason why that dude was so confident or thought he was like so confident in his ability to watch film, the Oregon guy who was like trying to say Pons wasn't good, it's because he correctly said Zane Durant, who people were saying was a preseason All-American, wasn't very good. And the difference between a preseason All-American and a guy who played a whole season and then was named an All-American is the production speaks for it. Yeah, the production speaks for it. And so, like, yeah, there's a lot of names on this Penn State defense, a lot of like guys that were probably highly recruited, but like production over potential, man. Like at a certain point when you play 6, 7, 8 games into a season, like you kind of are what you are. And it is like shocking, like that they're 13th in the conference in sacks or 12th or whatever they are, right? But the fact that they're not top 5 is crazy.
They were my preseason number 1.
They were a lot. I mean, they were a lot of people's preseason number 1.
It's one of these weird things where it's like eye test, like they made it all the way to the semifinal last year. They bring all those guys back.
How good was Abdul Carter?
How? Who? Abdul Carter.
Should he have been the first pick?
Low key. NFL guys tend to make top 5 picks tend to make that type of impact for teams, don't they? Especially when
it's kind of crazy. Well, that brings me to key number 2, Brad, and that would be to stop the run, because Penn State is a really good rushing football team. They ran the ball 35 times against Oregon for 3.5 yards a carry. It was one of the major reasons why they were able to be in that football game.
Not that good of an average, to be honest.
That's not great. But they're going to be committed to running the football. They're going to run the football probably 3 times, like more often than not. You're going to see 3 rushing plays in a row probably. They're not going to ask their quarterback to do too much. The quarterback's not going to really participate in the run game. The receivers really don't get active in the run game. Like you're going to see a lot of Allen. You're going to see a lot of Singleton, and you got to stop those guys.
Yeah, those guys are studs. Eye test wise, those guys are going to probably be 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks in the NFL draft. They're probably going to be some of the highest rated running backs coming out.
I was a Singleton guy going into the year, but Allen just blows him away in terms of production. It's not even close.
Yeah, they're very similar, like same body type. They're kind of clones, which is kind of nice. Like they just have
It
like
is a
fresh
little
legs.
bit like the way Sig likes to build his running back rooms, where like all of the guys kind of do very similar things and have the same. Like
Yeah,
the goal really isn't to have like guys do different jobs. It's to be able to have the same attack. You know what I mean?
yeah. I kind of disagree. It was like that last year with Lawton and Ellison for sure. But this year, like Roman Hemby's kind of a scat back. Lee Beebe's definitely a power back, and Black is kind of just your standard can do it all.
I mean, that's the way they play, but they're all like 5'10", 5'11", 205 to 215. BB is a little heavier, but
Black is 225 for sure. But he's like 5'8".
I don't think so. I think he's like 212.
Yeah, he's probably that weight, but he's 5'8". So he's like a lot bulkier, Maurice
That's fair.
Strong-Drew type build.
Oh, what's his Hemby keeps getting like versatile player of the week or whatever. I'm not even sure what that award is, but he keeps winning it.
For like, oh, is it like a national?
It's like a national like positional versatility award.
Oh my god, I should know this. I think it's named after a guy that went to Stanford.
The Andrew Luck Award.
No.
The Oliver Luck Award.
Oh god. Sorry, I'm looking it up.
Wait, no, I full blown expect Penn State to try and run the ball 40 times this game.
Good luck. Best run.
They're gonna try because that's their only path of it. Because they're not going to throw. They key number 3 would be defend the deep ball because they said like they said they were going to come out and take shots down the field. Like we'll see if they decide to test these Indiana defensive backs down the field. D'Angelo Pons I think allows the least amount of yards per attempt, like or yards per target attempt, or whatever the hell that stat was. And I think Jamari Sharp was like 10th on that list. So it's like
in the country.
Good luck. I think it was in the Big Ten.
Okay, I was gonna say like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's really hard to move the ball against this Indiana secondary. But at the same time, like with the way Indiana's going to have to get Lewis more involved to stop the run, and with how much they use him to tackle, even in the box, there is going to be opportunities for Penn State to throw the ball deep. Now, nobody's been able to do it against this Indiana defense. It's really you're not beating Pons deep, and Sharp may even be faster than Pons. So it's like, good luck. But yeah, defend the deep ball.
For sure. It's definitely been susceptible throughout the year. I think Farrell, Boykin, and Lou Moore, Sweet Lou. They've really kind of stepped up as the season's gone on. I don't think those deep balls have been as available as they were. I had the.
And we're gonna see a lot more Baldwin moving forward too.
Oh, for sure, and that's really exciting to see because he's probably gonna mix into that Rover and they move Boykin up to free instead of Amari or a Lou or a. It just brings a lot of versatility and a lot of like that dime package is gonna be nasty. If they want to go 6 DBs, I think Baldwin's going to be that first one out at this point. We alluded to maybe a Gandy or a Jaja Boy, but it looks like Byron Baldwin is really solidifying himself as that 6th DB.
Well, it came out last week that he was starting for most of the spring before he got hurt. I mean, he's that good.
I think Boykin was hurt. It was kind of the
I mean, I'm just saying what the reports were. Those were the reports. Key number 4: win the turnover battle. Obviously, it's okay if you turn the ball over, but what can't happen is you just give Penn State unlimited opportunities. Indiana is great at not beating itself. That can't start this week.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
Indiana is good at not beating itself, so that can't start this week.
Yes, and as true as that is, like I was gonna say it earlier, like I can't wait for that narrative to turn from like I always hear the CBS guys, and they do a great job, and they love Indiana. They've been on Indiana since last year. I had to respect that CBS panel. They've been great about the Hoosiers. I can't wait for that narrative to start shifting from they're a team that just executes super well, and they don't make mistakes, and they don't beat themselves, which is true. That is what they are. That narrative, especially for this team, is yes, that's true, but they have a lot of NFL talent on that team. And it just frustrates me because it makes it seem like they're just like a perfectionist type team, and they beat you through their execution when that's not the case. They can out athlete.
You know, actually, I would argue they haven't really played well since Oregon.
Yeah, like they threw that pick against Maryland, like just feeling the vibe. Like the Illinois game is like the peak of what Indiana can be. Like that was a perfect game. Like they showed out, they out athleted Illinois, and they didn't make a single mistake in that game. The other games, UCLA, weird picks. Maryland early interception as well. Both 2 first quarter picks. Have we thrown a pick outside the first? Or we threw that fourth quarter pick against Iowa.
You
But
threw a fourth quarter pick 6 against Oregon, or maybe late third.
yeah, something like that.
I mean, the late pick against UCLA too is Alberto in the end zone. You know what I mean? So it's like the game was 50 something nothing or whatever the score was at that point. But no, you're right. There is a lot of NFL talent on this team, starting with the quarterback. But I mean, across the offensive line, you could make the strong argument that at least one of the running backs are. Both wide receivers should be NFL guys. Like Pons is an NFL guy, Kamara's an NFL guy, Fisher's an NFL guy. Bones looks like an NFL guy. Hardy looks, like these guys are.
He has an NFL neck.
Farrell looks like an NFL guy, right? Like Boykin, you'd like to see, like if Boykin had more, like if guys like Boykin and Daly and Wyatt had more time in this system, like you'd like to think based on their production numbers alone that they would get looks too.
Wyatt and Sweet Lou are definitely NFL guys.
Oh, Sweet Lou too.
It's a shame that Wyatt had and Farrell's an NFL guy too, but he might need another year based on this season. Just we'll see.
Hope so.
Wyatt, that injury just absolutely brutal for him because he was putting up some crazy NFL tape where he was probably going to rise up to round 3, round 2, based on what he was.
I mean, he was the player everybody wants as a 3-4 linebacker or defensive end. You can drop into coverage. Like his ability to play both roles and still be effective getting after the quarterback in limited chances was.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most athletic 260-pounders I've seen in a while, to be honest.
And they don't use Daly the same way, but he's also freaky athletic too.
Yeah, 100%. Daly's a little heavier, so he doesn't have that little nimbleness to him, that quick twitch. But
they've been dropping Kamara into coverage.
The speed and the power that Daly has is definitely above Wyatt. Like Daly using that 280-pound frame with the track speed, like his bull rush should be insane.
His speed power combo is nasty, and that's why when they line him up as that second fullback, it's damn near impossible to stop them getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
And then key number 5 would be, as a team, just leave the Big Ten championship alone. Like, just forget about it for this week. Forget about it for next week. Like, just honestly, the team doesn't need to be thinking about it because if they just do it, they just handle the things they need to handle, like they're going to end up there. Just win the football games in front of you. That will be the reward.
The funniest thing about that statement is that if they lose this game, they're still in the driver's seat for the Big Ten.
Really? The way the tiebreakers work?
Depending on tiebreakers with USC.
That's funny.
That's really
just like it's
looking at the
win this game. It doesn't, and it literally doesn't matter. Did you see? I mean, college football Reddit, so who knows, right? Put out that the Big Ten is looking into changing the rules again if Ohio State loses to Michigan, which probably a spoof tweet, but like we watched them do it in 2020 and screw Indiana out of a Big Ten championship appearance. So obviously guard's always up when it comes to shenanigans and the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, we're going to win the game, but just to put it out there, there are 2 undefeateds, obviously, in Big Ten play. Only 4 one-loss teams left in the Big Ten play. Indiana has wins over 2 of them. Oregon and Iowa. Michigan and USC are the other ones.
But one of those becomes a 2-loss team after next weekend because I don't want to step on the slate yet. We haven't even given a score prediction, but it's a good slate this weekend. It was supposed to be a better slate, but Penn State decided not to hold up their end of the bargain. But what are you going to do? Yeah. Score prediction, Brad.
Score prediction, I think kind of that total gives me some – it's going to be loud. I think Penn State defense is going to show up. I think our defense is going to show up too. I think it's going to be really hard for Grunkmeyer. Why they're only able to get 2 touchdowns on Ohio State. I see our defense is about equal. Let's make a score prediction of 35-14. That's a slight over. 35-14, Indiana wins handily. Halftime prediction, 14-14.
I think we score more. I'm going to say 45-17. And I also I don't know if it's tied at half, but it's probably something like no, I think Indiana takes the crowd out of it early. I think it's like 20-3 at half.
I would love that. I would love them to Illinois Penn State.
24
That'd be awesome.
I don't know if my math gets correct. 24-3 at half. I don't know if that math makes any sense, but
what is your final score prediction?
45-17.
Sly dog. You actually, for the first time probably ever in this podcast, you picked the other team to score more points than I did.
Maybe, yeah.
That's crazy. Because I'm usually like I'm like the Brian Haynes hater. I'm like always like, give me more. Like give me like they were shutting out teams. Like I'm like, I need more interceptions. It's not
no, last week I got closer. Last week I had 45-10. You had 42-14.
Did you know Sweet Lou is leading the country in picks?
Mm-hmm. Did you hear McShay gushing over it, or the dude with McShay? I don't know who that, but gushing over him, which was awesome. And yeah, we're still the only show to have on Brian P. Lawton, the best damn lawyer in the land. If you haven't seen that interview yet, check out the interview we have with Brian Lawton on the channel. But nobody else has talked to him yet, which is crazy. SoCal Hot Sauce has a score prediction in the chat for us, 34-13. It's been SoCal Hot Sauce has been calling these defensive touchdowns. Called it last week too.
All right, let's think of hot takes for this game.
I think.
Do we hold Penn State to less than 100 rushing yards?
Yes, I think we hold them to like 2 yards of carry. That's a hot take. I think
that's crazy. That's
under 2.1 yards of carry.
Like, I want to look at that Ohio State box score. That would give me a lot more kind of context.
I'm going to say Indiana wins the turnover battle 3-0.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, Ohio State shut down Penn State, 55 total rushing yards. That's including the sacks on Grunkenmeyer. So with just between Singleton and Allen, and Katron's been getting – Katron got 21 carries last week, and Singleton got 6.
Yeah, Allen. I mean, dude, you look at the production numbers, and Allen is like it's like here and here. They're not even close.
Yeah, Alec Keyser, Padawan of the eye test.
I spent enough time with you. Some of it's rubbing off.
It's good. It's good. They combined for got around 94 total rushing yards between the two of them.
Okay, and you like to think that's on the road.
Yeah, and Singleton also led them in receiving at 28. They're not going to throw the ball downfield.
No. Which I thought was a crazy statement.
Like, they might get a Devontae Ross deep ball, but like how we've seen
a Trevor Pena go ball.
Yeah, how we've seen
a lot of Ocean Township mentions on this podcast, Brad. Shout out to Ocean Township's own Trevor Pena.
I hate that. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, if they get it, that's probably all they get in the air.
This is. I mean, listen. It's as much as you want to give respect to Penn State because of the logo, and respect to Penn State playing at home because the 100,000 people are going to be there. It's not a great football team. Like, that's the reality. Like, they would be winning more football games if their football team was better, and that's just kind of is what it is. Like, there's a reason why Indiana has never won there in the history of their school, and it is 13. They're 13.5 point favorites.
They're so due. 200 total yards from Penn State last week.
I expect them to be right around that same number too. Like, this Indiana defense is as good as they come, and is going to relish playing in this environment.
Oh yeah,
Much like it's a lot of like these East Coast schools are very like those Virginia guys. Like I'm sure all those dudes they wanted to play at or Maryland or Penn State or like like any of those like coastal or like kind of middle of the country, Midwest, almost Atlantic coast schools. Like Penn State fits in that like it just does. Like
Penn State's in such a great location where they have easy access to both the Midwest and the East Coast. Just being where
Penn State can centrally recruit the DMV area. They can like New York. They can like Eastern Pennsylvania, Western
Ohio,
Pennsylvania,
they're like
the Midwest, Ohio.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a
great location. It's a great job. Someone should take it.
I mean, it's the frustrating part is like I don't
know. You want to speculate who they're going to hire as their head coach?
If Brian Haynes is ready, like he's by far the best hire, just based on his ability to recruit the area. But I don't know if he's. I don't know where. I don't know enough about Brian Haynes' personal desires and where his timeline's at. Like like in my head and like in a lot of Indiana fans' heads, like it makes perfect sense. He's just going to succeed Cignetti and like we keep everybody in house. And it's like, is that realistic? I'm not sure. And like, if you're Penn State, would you want to hand the keys in such a pivotal time to somebody who's never done it before? Probably not, which probably takes out a coordinator without head coaching experience from that search. But like, if you look at like a lot of the boxes you want, like in terms of recruiting, like Brian Haynes would recruit the shit out of that area easily. Like it's something he already does. Like he's in Ohio, he's in Virginia. Like
would Brian Haynes take another job besides Penn State?
Yeah. I mean, who knows what jobs are going to be open, right? Like I never would have thought Penn State would have been open. I didn't think LSU would be open. Like I didn't think Florida would be open.
You thought.
But it's like if you look at like where Brian Haynes does a lot of his recruiting damage, right? Like a lot of it's in Georgia, Virginia, Ohio. So you'd like to think that probably look at a school that recruits in those areas. So like Virginia Tech, if they had their shit together, would probably be a nice spot for him. Shanahan is a little bit like
Shanahan's a Pennsylvania guy.
I know, but he's like a lot of time in Virginia, a lot of time in like Illinois and like Tennessee, and like he's kind of all over the place. So he's not as like regionally dependent, I guess. Not that Haynes is either, but it's interesting. I think all those guys are good candidates. So that's the problem. It's like my head goes like, when do they feel like their business is finished, right? Like if they go out and win the national championship this year, which is a very realistic possibility, like do those guys feel like, okay, like my job is done here, like now it's time for my next chapter, versus like do they feel like they have some sort of unfinished business if like Indiana can't get the job done this year? Like how much of a commitment does like it's so hard in this modern era of college football, like what is their commitment to the class of 2026, right? Because like you're telling all those kids to come and play for you at Indiana, but then like if you go take another job, like what does it mean for the class? And so there's a lot of moving parts. Like the easiest thing to do would be nothing happens, right? No change, and you just like make more money and you roll into next year with this system, and like you get 2, 3, 4 years of really dominant football, and then like you kind of start branching off from there. That's what logic would tell me. That would be probably the safest way to do it. But at the same time, like I've never had Penn State knock on my door and be like, hey, we want you to be our head coach.
Yeah, and they're willing to pay a defensive coordinator $3.6 million a year. Brian Haynes only makes about $2 million, which is still like he's still sending his kids to college, 100% job security.
I say all of that to say
the guy that hired him back at IUP is still his boss. Like
first and foremost, from the Penn State side, I don't think they can afford to hire somebody who hasn't been a head coach before. I think that would be a mistake, and I think they need stability more so than anything.
Worked out pretty well for Oregon, but they were in a different spot. Like they're replacing a guy that left rather
much. But that's like that's a one of like that you could. There might be one other school spending what they can spend, maybe. It's a little bit different.
Like successful at another school besides Oregon.
I think he could, but it's
not the juggernaut that they are.
You're not recruiting top. He's not recruiting a top 5 class to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He might be able to win football games there, but like he's not the recruiting engine. It's because like it's funny. It's like you look at it, it's like, yeah, like Brian Haynes is probably the perfect choice for Penn State. But is he mature enough? Does he have those like behind the scenes staff building qualities that it takes to be a head coach? Like I think so, but I don't know. And so like that's what Penn State's gonna have to figure out. But like if he was a Southern guy, like he'd be perfect for LSU, you know what I mean? But he's just doesn't have the recruiting footprint in that area. Or like Florida really wouldn't make much sense for him either. But I think him or Shanahan kind of like Shanahan less so, but they both make sense for Penn State. They both make sense for Virginia Tech as well. I just don't. Virginia Tech, I don't see either of them leaving. But I mean, man, Penn State would be hard. But at the same time, like the conversation keeps going in circles.
Like, how much are they going to pay them? How much is Virginia Tech contract going to be? Is that going to be like $3 million as opposed to the $2 million they're already making? 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that move's probably not worth it. But if you're getting offered a Power 2 head coaching job, but at the same time, like how do you
probably giving you $5 million a year?
Like in my opinion, though, like the best way to qualify yourself for that job is to win at a lower level. Like you look at why Cignetti was so successful, and the guy won at every single level of college football, climbing up the ranks to get from Division 2, Division 3 level, basically to
Jalen DeBoer.
1AA to exactly same thing. Like the guy won at a bunch of different levels, and so like maybe you do take a lesser job to prove you can win, but is that something with an elite class and only going up that either of those guys are going to want to take that like personal sacrifice that same one Cignetti made and take a bunch of steps back before they move forward? I'm not sure.
I don't think
my gut tells me that
Cignetti was the receivers coach and moved to IUP. DeBoer basically started at Ferris State and then worked his way up, went to the IU coordinator job from there and took it and ran. Or he went to Fresno State for the OC job for a year, got the IU job, moved back to Fresno for the head coaching job, and took Washington a year later. Much different path than being one of the highest paid coordinators in the country and taking a job at fuck all tech, like.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, like they have a really good class coming.
That wasn't a reference to Virginia Tech, by the way. It was.
It's gonna get easier for them to recruit, and like I'm thinking, like in Brian Haynes' case, those 3 linebackers he has coming in are as good of a linebacking class as you can put together. I don't give a shit about stars. Like those dudes are all awesome. They're gonna be really, really good players. Like I don't know. I don't see the staff breaking up after this year. As maybe I'm cynical, maybe that's a little like ignorance is bliss, but it just feels like they're still building something here.
Yeah, win a natty, things can change because I think they win the national championship. I think Penn State takes a hard look at Brian Haynes. But like if they don't, I really don't see them leaving, to be honest. But like if they win the national championships, like you.
I mean, at that point, it's like what like.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
Like fine, like yeah. I think it comes with natties. It comes those types of things, right?
Yeah, we just saw with Ohio State, like
much similar to Georgia losing Dane Lanning when it happened, right? It's like
Ohio State wins the natty, and Jim Knowles takes a lateral move coordinator
job. Pay
yeah, because they're paying more money.
Yeah, exactly. Chip Kelly moves to the NFL.
Yep. Yeah, and they replace both coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But we're a long ways away from that. Do you want to look at the slate?
Yeah, we can run through it. Well, if I said no, like no.
Then I'd be like, all right, cool. You can follow us.
Classic. All right, national slate. Noon. ABC. The number 7 ranked BYU Cougars go to the number 8 ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders this weekend.
That's a hell of a game. BYU's going to Tech.
Yeah. We're going to learn a lot about those teams this weekend.
We're going to learn a lot about Bachmeier, I'll tell you that. And what's
Yeah,
his
but
name?
that Texas Tech
Barron,
defense
what's
is
his
gonna be-
face is what's his face is starting, right? The Tech quarterback
Morton?
is back.
Morton? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because that Hammond kid can sling it. I don't think they
No,
miss it.
Hammond's done for the year.
I don't think. Yeah, but whether or not he's in or not, yeah, I guess make a good point. Yeah.
No, Morton's definitely better. I like if he's playing. I like what's the line? Probably
Hammond can sling it though.
Texas Tech minus 2.5.
Texas Tech minus 10.5. How about that? Yeah, and I mean it makes sense. I like Texas Tech.
Freshman quarterback. They don't like the freshman on the road.
But they're definitely going to win that game. That Texas Tech defense is analytically opponent adjusted, one of the better. Like they're like number 3, right behind Ohio State and Indiana. They're really good. And for a guy like Bear Bachmeier to go in there in a hostile environment and to expect him to make enough plays to win is a tall task. I like Texas Tech.
I agree. I follow your line of thinking, although I like BYU's defense to travel.
Yeah, I obviously like the idea. Yeah, I like the idea that BYU. What's so great about BYU is that they have the Mormon loophole where they go on mission for 2 years. So all their guys,
all their guys are super seniors. They're all like 25, 26.
Yeah, they get they have 23-year-old juniors, which is really nice for them. 21-year-old freshmen, which is sick for them. And now they're putting NIL into it. It's going to result in more 9-0 starts for them.
Well, they grabbed a top quarterback in the class of 26, I think, or something, and he's going to go on mission for 2 years.
They got Ryder Lyons.
Yeah, Ryder Lyons, that guy.
Yeah,
he's 5-star.
5-star Mormon out of Folsom, California. Same high school as NFL quarterback Washington Husky.
Washington Husky? Oh no, I should
Jake
know
Browning.
this.
Jake Browning at Folsom High School broke all the nation records. He had
I was thinking starter.
200 touchdowns in a year or something like that. It was something stupid. I think. Hold on. Jake Browning high school stats. No, dude, it's I swear to God, he had 229 career tutties, but his senior year, 5,790 passing yards. Guess how many touchdowns?
25.
91.
Jesus.
91 passing tutties in a high school year.
How about the Indiana quarterback who's gonna on pace to break Derrick Henry's rushing record?
Really?
Yeah, Kay Adams was talking about it this morning with Derrick Henry.
He's not you commit?
No, he's got one D1 offer. No, none of the Indiana coaches even follow him.
What? How is that possible? I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry just caught the ball and scored a touchdown every time in high school.
Derrick Henry had 12,000 rushing yards in high school, and this kid needs 280 average over his last 3 games or something like that to break the record, and he averages 350 a game or something like that.
That's crazy. All right, we gotta continue speed running this. 3:30 ABC. Wow, what an ABC slate, by the way. Another playoff impact game. 2 playoff ranked teams. Texas A&M is going to Mizzou. Texas A&M is a 6.5 point favorite.
What? Oh, that's crazy. I'll take A&M. Thank you. Please and thank you. Next.
I like A&M. Yep. They're really good. Elko's not going anywhere.
No. All right. Yes. Can we pause real quick? Because I keep seeing.
No, we talked about it last show.
I can't do it, dude. I like the guy's opinion, but the Big Ten information, who's convinced that Penn State's going to look at Elko. It's yeah, they might look at him. It's
I'm looking at
Look
Elko.
at how much money. Texas A&M is spending so much money. Like, what
I
are you
see it.
talking about? He's not going anywhere. He's got top 5 recruiting class every year.
All right, I'm gonna skip that other one because it's actually a Big Ten game when we do the Big Ten slate all at once. So I'm gonna find some more national games. No, it's a Big Ten week. Wow.
The conference owes us after the last couple weeks. You kidding
Yeah,
me?
Virginia plays another non sub 500 team, Wake Forest, but it's at home. Like Virginia, Wake Forest goes to Virginia. Cal goes to Louisville, and LSU goes to Alabama. I was trying to find teams that aren't necessarily ranked, but like have a good record. Like, I mean, how do I?
Wake play?
There's just no way any of those teams go into those places and get a dub.
Go watch Wake
Maybe
Forest
Cal.
basketball.
Hmm?
I gotta do some planning. I'm talking to myself. I'm pretty close to Winston. I was looking at UNCG, and chat. I think I'm gonna go try and watch the UNCG Chattanooga game when Chattanooga comes to town.
The Mocs.
But I'm gonna try and watch some Wake Forest basketball. I think
that'd be good.
Yeah.
Navy goes to Notre Dame this weekend. 26.5-point favorite. We all saw what happened last year.
I hate that so much. I don't even want to talk about it.
Night game.
I don't even want to talk about it.
That smells disaster for the midshipmen.
Yeah.
All right. Friday. Big Ten Friday's back. We got Northwestern going to the Coliseum. It's Northwestern USC. USC 14.5-point favorite. 50 total.
Good God. Yeah. Give me SC and the points. Next.
Yeah, USC. We already talked about Penn State, Indiana, right?
Yeah. Did we? Did we talk about that?
I think so. I think we brought it up. Ohio State goes to Purdue. Do I even need to say the spread?
45.5.
It's 29.5. Yeah,
That's
Ohio
crazy.
State in the points.
I like Purdue to cover.
That's crazy. That's insane. Here's a good game. Maryland at Rutgers. Rutgers is a 1.5-point favorite at home.
Are you rah? I got to ride with
still there, right?
Who?
Mike Locksley.
Yeah, Locksley did not get fired. I don't know where you.
I got duped again. It happens all the time.
It happens.
I'm just trying to watch ball, and like I don't need all this fake information out there. I just don't. It's not healthy. What do you like?
I like Rutgers.
Rutgers at home. They need to win it. So Rutgers bowl watch. They're 4-5. Rutgers needs. Rutgers ends the year with Maryland, Ohio State, and Penn State. So they need to win this game.
They need this one.
They need to win this game.
You don't think they're not Ohio State?
Maryland ends with Rutgers at Illinois. Oh my God, they end with at Rutgers, at Illinois, Michigan, and at Michigan State. They don't get a breather.
Yikes! Well, they should win the Michigan State game, especially if they're not going to play Childs, which that was
like Maryland also very much needs to win this game.
Can you imagine just be like, yeah, Aiden Childs is the problem. Like we got to make a change at quarterback. That was the solution for Michigan State last week.
Yeah. I mean, the winner of this is probably going bowling. So I think Rutgers can take on Penn State.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. If Penn State pulls off a massive win against Indiana this weekend, probably not.
Yeah. That's at 2:30 at FS1. Weird kickoff time.
That's 2:30 local, 3:30. What are you talking about?
I like Rutgers. They got a lot going on the outsides. They got good weapons.
Wait, that's a 2:30 Eastern kick?
Oh, but their defense is so bad. 2:30 Eastern, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Looking at it right here. It's a weird. Yeah, it's mid-slate start. For them.
Interesting.
Super weird. That Rutgers defense is so bad. It's hard for me to pick them. But, yeah, we'll see. They hung around with Iowa, so I'm going to lean Rutgers here. Oregon at Iowa.
This is my favorite game of the weekend.
Oh, for sure.
I've had to bite my tongue. And honestly, of all the fan bases that we've interacted with on Twitter this year, those two have been, like, were my two favorite weeks. And I know their fan bases are just like smashing into each other this week. Those interactions, I'm sure, are awesome. But honestly, I've done my best to I've been staying away, stay out of it. Like, it's not my fight. And so I really haven't been participating. But yeah, I'm sure that back and forth and dynamic has been awesome to observe.
It's scary. I like Iowa to cover, but I think it's going to be very, very much like Indiana at Iowa. Just very slog it out. I think Oregon's just going to pull away with it. I think their athletes are better. Very much.
I don't think so. I think Iowa presents a lot of unique problems, and a lot of why Indiana was able to have success on the road came down to their individual guys making plays. Like, I don't know, like it's going to need to be like a massive Kenny and Sadiq game, right? Or like DeCorian Moore's going to have to figure out a way to beat press coverage, because I don't know, man. I actually like Iowa in this game. I think they're really, really tough at home. I think the crowd plays a huge factor, and I think Oregon's youth kind of bites them in this game. I actually like Iowa to win outright.
What's nice is we've beaten both, so it really doesn't matter who wins or loses.
No, it's really nice that we've beaten both. We beat them both on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better for Indiana's resume if Oregon wins, because a road win for Oregon against a ranked college football playoff team would be nice for their college football playoff resume. But at the same time, like, just makes Iowa look better if they win that game. So I don't know. I just watching. I can only go based off of what I watched Indiana do. And then you look at the strength of that Iowa team, and like they're not going to throw the ball, right? Like, Gronowski doesn't release the ball past the line of scrimmage, so they're going to run the ball down Oregon's throat, and we'll see if Oregon can stop the run.
Try. Yeah, I like Oregon. Washington at Wisconsin. Washington's an 11.5-point favorite on the road in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's so bad.
Wisconsin's bad.
This is a Washington next? Washington next.
For sure.
Okay. Nebraska at UCLA. UCLA is favored by 2.5 points.
That's nuts. I mean, I cannot, but like, on one side, I can't believe Nebraska just extended Matt Rule, and on the other side, like, I get it, but just like, how are you not favored in this game? How do you lose at home to USC in a night game when you're supposed to have 90,000 people in there? I don't know.
USC's good, and Nebraska's not. That's the difference.
Yeah. Who's going to have more fans in the Rose Bowl, UCLA or Nebraska? Probably Nebraska.
Last time I went to a Nebraska-UCLA game at the Rose Bowl, it was a good amount of Nebraska fans, but mostly UCLA fans. Is still that era, Jim Mora.
I'm going to say it's going to be 75-25 Nebraska fans.
Could be.
I'm going to say Nebraska gets it done.
I'm picking UCLA. I've yet to see UCLA lose to Nebraska in football in my lifetime, so I'm going to continue that trend with UCLA.
That's a good stat.
Yeah, it's true.
Do we have Big Ten after dark?
Actually, I have to take that back. They lost in the Foster Farms Bowl. Oof.
Terrible.
Oof. That's the game of
the
week. Oh man, tough.
Is there a Big Ten after dark?
That's the game. That's Big Ten after dark.
EJ said, we just watched UCLA get pumped by 50 after we pumped Nebraska by 50 last year.
Yeah, they're both really bad teams.
Yeah, well, Nebraska scored one more point.
Yeah, they're both shit teams. I'm taking the home team.
Yeah, so UCLA by 2. That's what the math says.
Yeah, about Johansson likes Nebraska.
Yeah, see, I like Nebraska too. It's a great minds think alike.
All right, good tiebreaker there. Mine's definitely a biased pick, so I think
hats are off, Brad. The hats are off. The committee's in session. Did you see that fucking video? That was so stupid.
No.
All the committee members walked into the room, and as they walked into the room, there was a hat rack, and they were all wearing like college football playoff hats, like the logo, like white hats. And as they entered the room, they all took their hats off and put them on the rack.
How do they know whose hats were whose?
That was I don't know. I guess they had some sort of like, either they had like custom markers or like, it's like a baseball team where you write your name on.
Or
like,
maybe they have their initials on the side, something like that.
Yeah, maybe it was custom, like we don't know. But yeah, no, they just like everybody took their hat off and put on it. That's how you knew the committee was in session because nobody was wearing their hats anymore. All right, guys.
Bring back the BCS.
Just shove it all into a computer and call it a day.
Seriously.
Like we're gonna do, Brad. Do you have a closing thought? Because I got
shove it into a computer and call it a day.
I love it. Please like, comment, share, subscribe.
It's usually the same field every year. Ever since they've done the committee, it's basically been the same field every year, except for last year, where they actually would have put in Bama. Oh, BCS would have put in Bama over SMU.
Yeah,
it's really been fine.
Probably would have been the right move. What are you gonna do? Shout out to Diego Pons. Pro Bar 5.
I have my shirt. I think I washed it.
Yeah, no, I washed mine. This is washed. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Indiana at the Voice of College Football on YouTube. If you're watching on the Sigs Inside Pod account on Twitter, hop on over to YouTube, hit the like button, throw a comment, hit subscribe, share it to a friend. Tell the Kroger cashier, as Jackson Johnson likes to say. You can follow the show at Indiana VOCFB on Twitter. Check out the Voice of College Football at the VOCFB. You can follow me at Alec Keyser. Follow Brad at Bradley_Loomis8. We'll be dropping content on YouTube and expecting maybe a commitment or two by the end of this week. And I don't know. We'll see. But hell of a time to be a Hoosier. Trudging into Happy Valley, looking for the first win in program history on the road at Penn State. It was a really, really good opportunity to do so. So just hoping the Heisman Mendoza campaign keeps rolling on. The boys keep playing well. And we'll be back on Sunday afternoon.
It's a spot for him to get back into the front.
Sunday evening.
Closing thought.
We'll be back Sunday evening to recap it all.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably Sunday evening.
I like that late game, like right after the late game, like maybe right before the late game starts. Like it's a nice little slot for us.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, in the intros, the 1621. Shout out to the boys. Wave, Nick's girl, Signar. 1621 played us in. The Sweet Sound of Butter Symphony is going to play us out. Go Hoosiers.
Go Hoosiers.